Hello, everyone. I have felt guided to create a video like this for a long time. And then several of you started emailing me asking if I offered private tarot readings or did energy check-ins for twin flames. And as I was creating videos in the past on twin flames, I kept feeling as though these very specific messages were coming through within these information-based videos. So through all of this combined, I feel as though I'm really being guided to create this twin flame energetic check-in through a pick a card tarot video. This is just a medium through which I am using to deliver messages to twin flames collectively. But I am choosing to divide this into 4 different groups as a pick a card style video. Because although this is a collective reading, I do want to be able to dive into as much specific detail that could apply to your current situation as I possibly can. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please give it a like and leave me a comment to let me know whether you'd like to see more tarot, pick a card, and energy check-in style videos in the future. As you can see on the screen, I have 4 tarot cards laid out for you. I know that in a lot of videos they don't actually show the front side of the card, but I just felt guided for this specific video to show you the actual card. But what I want you to know is that I'm using these cards as a way to divide you into so-called energetic piles so that this reading will resonate as much with you as possible. So I don't want you to actually, if you know tarot, pick a card based on your knowledge of tarot or what the card means, because the reading isn't going to be really connected to that meaning of the specific card itself, if that makes sense. I'm just going to be speaking to those of you who were drawn to that particular card. So take a moment, observe these 4 cards, and notice where your intuition is pulling you. Maybe you felt the pull even before you clicked on this video, or maybe you are beginning to feel the pull as you are looking at all of these 4 cards. You just feel your eyes constantly drawn to one card. That is a sign that there may be a message contained within that group that is specifically for you. I also want to let you know that in addition to creating these videos, I am also a subliminals creator. As you can see on the screen, I've created a website on which I have crafted and posted over 100 subliminals designed to assist you in reprogramming your subconscious mind and manifesting in any area of your life. I have subliminals for physical body changes, for mood shifts like confidence and happiness, for specific material goals like money or fame or business success, and for twin flames specifically, I have an entire section of subliminals dedicated entirely to you. I am sharing all of this with you because right now, when you sign up for a 7-day free trial, you can test out any of the subliminals I have available completely free. Throughout this video and these readings, I may be referencing specific subliminals that would be useful to each group, each energetic pile, so to speak. I'm doing this because I often get members emailing me and asking which subliminal would best suit them for overcoming challenges within their connection. So I want to assist you in being guided to the perfect meditation track to heal your energy and the energy of your situation where it may be at currently. So all of those subliminal suggestions for each group, as well as the timestamps for each group, will be in the pinned comment and the description box of this video. Let's begin. For those of you who chose group number 1. Group number 1, before we begin, I just wanted to let you know that I chose 3 cards for you from my Energy Oracle deck. And besides these cards, I may also be pulling a few traditional tarot cards and using my own intuition to give you channeled messages about your connection. So the first card I have for you, group number 1, is the Victory card, but in reverse. Now I want to read a little bit about this card. The Victory card reversed signals a delay or reversal in a hoped-for outcome. Success may have been eluding you for some time, but don't despair. Group number 1, I feel that for you. You got your hopes up within this connection. If you hear me writing, by the way, I sometimes channel messages by writing a little bit, jotting down words, so that's what that is. But group number 1, I feel like you had this victory in your sights in terms of this connection. You felt as though you were making forward movement and you really got your hopes up. And I even hear some of you saying that you got your hopes up too high, which, by the way, there is no such thing as having too much hope as hoping too much. But I do feel that this wasn't pure hope. There was something else tangled in with this, and it caused this to veer off into a different direction. It caused this not to go the way that you thought it was going to go. I don't know if this will apply to one of you specifically, but I heard that one of you may have scheduled something with your twin flame, like a date, and it kept falling through, not working out, plans weren't coming together. Or maybe I just saw one of your twin flames saying something that really led you on, that really showed you a window of insight into how they were truly feeling. Maybe they told you they cared about you, they liked you, they were interested in you. And maybe I'm sensing that on the surface it was something that wasn't super direct. It wasn't like a confession of love, but it was something that it felt like there was being so much spoken, but beneath these words, they gave you some kind of message through saying this to you that really got your hopes up. And I'm being guided to tell you that the message you heard between the lines, when you read between the lines of what they said to you, you were actually hearing what they were trying to say, but something happened, and I'm going to read more into what happened. Something happened that prevented them from it prevented your wish from being fulfilled, your hope from coming true, that caused you to get your hopes let down. But what actually happened was I'm sensing some kind of energetic shift or something that happened within them. And it wasn't because you were wrong. You need to know, it's very important that you know, I just got goosebumps, that you were right about whatever you felt that they were really trying to say to you. You were right about that. You can trust that. That was what they were really trying to say, but just couldn't find the words to say. I'm sensing that maybe they were afraid, but I want to read more into the cards and see what's going on here. So the next card I got for you is the Thinking Man. So with the Thinking Man, let's read a little bit about this. This card shows a man standing before an archway, gazing at a crystal in his hand, just to give you an idea of the picture, the illustration on this card. He is a thoughtful and reflective man, representing the potential presence of a teacher in your life right now or about to arrive soon. You know, I'm not feeling this in connection so much as this teacher, but with the Thinking Man, I'm actually hearing that this is applying to your person, whether this is your divine masculine or your divine feminine. They got caught up in their own thoughts, in their own mind. I'm seeing this thinking taken to the extreme. They became too overly logical, overly analytical, or maybe this is applying to you as well, because remember, your twin flame is always your mirror soul. So possibly whenever this thing occurred with this first card, the Victory in Reverse card, this near victory that felt like a near miss to you, that felt like you were being let down after something seemed to shift between you in a good way, and then seemed to not end the way you were hoping it would. I'm sensing with the thinking man, either one or both of you really got in your own head about this. When this thing happened, again, I'm sensing it was something they said to you or something you said to them that was seemingly innocent but had a deeper meaning. Or maybe you made plans to do something they fell through. Some of you are feeling as though your twin flame is being flaky. You both, one or both of you, got into your own head on this situation, and that's when your ego mind came out and you began to overanalyze the situation, and this shifted the energy from an energy of trust, of true faith in the unfolding of your connection. One of you, I heard the word control. I feel like maybe you got overly excited and tried to really control the situation or direct it when the time and the energy wasn't right. So maybe your twin flame asked you to hang out and you began to really overanalyze this, really stress about it, and really begin to try to control all of the details, where the date was going to be, when it was going to happen. And your twin flame felt this overly controlling kind of energy and then stepped away. Maybe they ghosted you. Maybe they stopped responding or seemed less interested. And again, this is just a specific example. This could apply to any kind of conversation you've had with them or anything that felt like a positive movement and then a drawback. It's because someone was trying to control the situation or overanalyze it. I just saw, just as an image illustration, a couple that was having a picnic and then it started raining and they hadn't even pulled the food out of the picnic basket yet. They were just sitting there talking, kind of immersing in this connection, in this beautiful summer day. And then all of a sudden these rain clouds rolled in out of nowhere and ruined the whole date. And I feel that metaphorically, some of you feel as though you were having this perfect summer day full of connection and love with your twin flame, and then all of a sudden these rain clouds came in. Something happened that seemed to get in the way to prevent you from completely connecting. Oh, guys, and the third card I pulled for you was actually the thinking woman. So this is telling me that maybe it wasn't. This is telling me the divine masculine and the divine feminine were both in their own head in some way. This card shows a woman holding a book, standing before a staircase, ready to lead you to higher understanding. So what I feel with this, because it's so ironic, I can't believe we got, of this 3-card spread, we got the thinking man and the thinking woman. So this really indicates to me that you are being told that, so maybe one of you thinks that it was just you in your own head, because you have all of these racing thoughts about this situation, about what happened, and I feel that you think that it was just you overthinking, overanalyzing with these racing thoughts. But you are really, and I just got a wave of goosebumps, you really need to know that it's not just you in your own head. Your divine counterpart, your twin flame, is really in their head as well. It is both of you who are getting out of balance in this way, because even if it doesn't look like it, because I feel for some of you, I'm really strongly feeling that your twin flame pulled away communication in some way. They really withdrew the communication. They either started responding less, or I saw someone responding with like one-word answers, and it really started driving you crazy, and you felt like you were the only one overanalyzing this situation and that they were just completely fine. I'm being guided to tell you that this is both of you. Remember, your twin flame is your mirror soul, and I feel it is so divine that we have these 2 cards side by side, the thinking man and the thinking woman, because this is reminding us, symbolizing to us what we already know, that your twin flame is your mirror soul, that they are always reflecting to you what you are thinking, what you are feeling, where your energy is at. So you are being guided to remember that you aren't alone in experiencing these thoughts and feelings. I heard the word isolated, that you feel isolated in your feelings, as though you are the only one feeling this connection, feeling this intensity, and feeling this pain during the separation. But your twin flame is your mirror soul. They are reflecting to you all of these insecurities, all of these fears. So as far as clearing and healing this energy, because through these tarot videos, I don't just want to do some kind of a reading and then leave you with, okay, there's your guidance, go heal it, because I feel so often we receive the information, but we don't receive the tools. So I actually want to provide you with a tool you can start using. I have created several subliminals designed for helping you to release this overly analytical mind. But specifically, what I'm hearing for you is that you need to get out of your mind by getting into your body. And what I mean by that is you need to feel back into your body, especially into the 7 energetic centers of your body, the 7 chakras. So those of you who are twin flames know that I often recommend a subliminal I've created for 7 chakra healing, specifically for twin flames. But actually for you, I'm feeling guided that you should also incorporate a general 7 chakra clearing I have created for not just twin flames, but for everyone. Because this targeting of clearing away any energetic blockages in your 7 energy centers and meditating with this subliminal, truly feeling these sensations in your body will get you back in touch with yourself. And as you listen to this, I want you to really clear away any of these thoughts, anxieties, this ego mind. Because as soon as you clear away these thoughts and worries from your own mind, the same will happen for your twin flame. Remember, we got these 2 cards, the thinking man and the thinking woman, together. This means that you are a duality. You are mirroring one another, so that when you clear these overanalyzations, when you clear away these chaotic thoughts, your twin flame will also feel the clearing effects of that in their own energy, and it will cause a resolution of the situation. I just saw in my mind this reversed victory card being actually turned upside down, turned into the upright position, into a victory card. So I actually just physically turned that card around, and I want to read to you what you will experience if you choose to shift the balance of this connection. What you can actually experience within this victory. So you can transform this reversed victory, this defeat, so to speak, into a victory. This card shows a beautiful spirit holding a golden victory wreath and acknowledging your achievement. And what I heard specifically is achievement not in a material success, but in a major energetic shift. And in learning to trust that when you shift the energy beneath the surface, the material results, this shift in your connection will follow. This achievement may be a great outer success, or it may be a deep inner change. I'm reading that right from this card, and that is exactly what I was saying to you guys. This isn't, and I hear it's actually both, but that one will come first, meaning that the inner change will happen first, and you will feel that almost right away, and the outer change will follow after. So you're being guided to shift this energy, release these overanalyzing thoughts within yourself. But then when you do this and you feel the energy shifting within you, not to look back. I don't know if you know the Bible story where Lot and his wife are fleeing from the cities Sodom and Gomorrah, and they are told not to look back. But Lot's wife looks back and she turns into a pillar of salt. So what I'm hearing in this metaphor for you is that if you look back, you are going to become stuck in your tracks, in the tracks of your healing. As you feel this energy shifting in a positive direction, you need to trust these positive shifts, this unfolding in your connection. You need to continue pushing forward, looking toward the horizon, not looking back toward the past, towards this burning city, towards these times when you may have felt rejected or hopeless within your connection, because if you look back and dwell on these things as you are shifting the energy, instead of looking ahead, you will always be stuck and pulled back into them. So focus on this future, and I feel guided to actually pull a couple more cards for you, just because I feel that this reading isn't yet complete. I feel that there's still a little bit more that you need to know about this situation. So I'm just going to pull 2 cards for you now before we close this reading. Okay, so I'm seeing the Journey card in reverse. And this Journey card shows someone who is at a crossroads, so to speak. They see a sign, and the sign points in many different directions, and they're about to cross a bridge. And what I'm actually hearing, since this card is in reverse, that you have been thinking about just leaving this connection altogether because you're not sure how to move forward. You're feeling indecisive. That's what I see with the signpost pointing all these different directions. You're not sure what to do, how to move forward. You feel stuck, and in your indecisiveness, you feel as though the only solution is to take this journey, is to leave. But you are actually being guided against leaving. You're being told that you don't have to move in order to move energy. You are getting the feeling that if only you pick up, I just saw someone spontaneously buying a plane ticket for somewhere all the way across the country, just trying to run away, and that could just be metaphorical, or it may be literal for one of you, but it could just be a metaphor that you are just getting this urgency, you're feeling antsy just to up and leave, and that's coming from your ego. Your ego wants to just try to escape itself. But of course, you need to know that you can't ever escape yourself. You will carry yourself with you wherever you go, and this connection will be carried with you wherever you go. So you're being told, rather than trying to move physically, to leave this connection, to leave this relationship, or to physically move, why not shift within? Why not take an inner journey? Because when we take that inner journey first, that is when we can experience the real change and transformation we are desiring. It's just that when we take this external journey, it's like we're trying to force that change and transformation into being, and it's not going to work out when we choose that path. So choose rather the path within, the path of healing within yourself, rather than trying to take some kind of radical change or transformation in the moment. And finally, the next card I got for you was the third chakra, the Archangel Chamuel. So what I'm hearing is the third chakra is the solar plexus chakra. So this is the seat of your confidence. And I'm feeling that for many of you, going back to that journey, you feel indecisive. And part of this is because you lack confidence. And I'm hearing not even so much in this person, but it actually originates within yourself. You're lacking a sense of self-trust and stability within. And I'm also sensing that for some of you, this comes from early childhood because you were taught to not trust yourself. I'm hearing people pleaser. You really wanted to make the people around you happy. So you had very fluid boundaries with the caregivers and the people you cared about in your life. And this is one of the main things you're being called to heal and transcend within this connection. And in fact, a big integral part of what you must heal in order to come into union, which really circles me back to doing this 7 chakra clearing subliminal really helped you shift the energy. I personally do a lot of solar plexus work through this subliminal on myself because this is also, in the past, has been one of my weak chakra points as well, this lack of confidence, this lack of strong boundaries. In listening to the subliminal, I can actually literally feel these physical, energetic sensations in my solar plexus as the energy shifts. So I will leave a link to this subliminal in the description box below under Group 1 so that you can try it out completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website, Sound and Soulful. Thank you so much for joining me here in this reading, Group number 1. You are wonderful, you are beautiful, and you are stronger than you can even imagine. Good luck with this self-healing journey and with the decisions ahead of you, whatever path you may choose for this journey, if you do choose to make some kind of a change or whether you choose to participate in your own healing journey instead. I'm sending you endless love and light on this journey. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hello, group number 2. If you chose the second card, the High Priestess card, this reading is for you. Just so you know, I am using the Energy Oracle cards deck for this reading, just pulling some of these cards as I feel intuitively guided to do so. And in addition, I am channeling messages from the divine and from my own intuition. Just to check in with the energy currently of your twin flame situation and some advice on how to move forward. So I'm going to begin by pulling just 3 cards from this deck for you, just so we can have a starting point, start getting a sense for what's going on in your situation. So, okay, group number 2. So let's start. By the way, if you hear me writing, that's because I sometimes channel messages by writing on a piece of paper, just free writing and seeing what comes through. So that's what that is. The first card, by the way, this is a really, really beautiful, beautiful card spread. I feel as though many of you carry a very beautiful energy and you are becoming highly magnetic people. That is just what I'm getting from these cards. I'm feeling a balance in these cards, so you are coming into some kind of balance. But I don't want to say too much because I really want to look and see where I'm being guided with this card spread. The first card I pulled for you is the Temple Path. So this card is connected to spiritual purpose and support. Group number 2, I really feel like you're coming into your own, and this really resonates with pulling the High Priestess card to begin with, really choosing that card, feeling drawn to that card. I feel that you are carrying a very powerful energy, and I felt guided to say whether you know it or not, because I feel like some of you are in a little bit of denial about just how magnetic and how powerful you are. So the first message I'm being guided to tell you is you are very powerful. You are a very powerful creative being. You're a very old soul. I'm hearing that you're an ancient soul. You've lived many lifetimes, and in this lifetime, part of your twin flame purpose and path is to not only create, to heal one another, to balance this relationship, and to fulfill a joint purpose, but also to truly come into your own power and to manifest. I heard material. If you feel as though you're someone who is really longing for material success and abundance, and you almost feel selfish for wanting these things or feel like it's not spiritual, you're being told that you are being called on a path where you're going to be both materially abundant, successful, and spiritual. So I want to read a little bit from the Temple Path card. This is such a beautiful card. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul had in mind in this lifetime. What did I just tell you guys? Your soul destined not just for this connection, but also for material success along with it. This is part of your twin flame path. And I feel you already know this. You're being pulled to this. And the way, when I heard the words winding path from that, I really feel that was emphasized. This has been a very winding path for you. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of dead ends, twists, turns. At times on this path, you have felt completely blind to your next step, very uncertain, and yet you have continued to move forward and allow yourself to be guided anyway. So you're being told that you can celebrate all of your successes so far, because I'm feeling like some of you are very hard on yourselves. I heard self-judgment, that you are your own worst critic, and even in your own spiritual growth and evolution, because you are so persistent and always growing, always magnetizing more into your life, it sometimes becomes a kind of competition with yourself, and that is where the ego starts to step in a little bit for you. And I see you on this winding path just from time to time stopping. And what I want you to know, because I see you stopping to catch your breath, from time to time on the way to this temple, to this beautiful divine purpose, you will have to stop from time to time to catch your breath. But know that that stopping isn't truly a dead end for you. It's not a full stopping point. This is simply a recharge, a reset for you energetically. So I already know, as far as which subliminal I would recommend for you, you really need to focus on grounding and being present with your energy in those times when you feel discouraged or feel like stopping. You need to have a way to soothe this feeling of anxiety and boost your confidence, but confidence in your own intuition, in your own clarity. So to all groups, I would recommend my 7 chakra clearing subliminal, either a general subliminal I've created if you aren't sure whether you're a twin flame, or the 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal I've designed specifically for twin flames. The reason I always recommend these is because they contain 7 binaural beat frequencies resonating with each of the energetic centers in the body, and we all store subconscious blockages, negative beliefs within our energy field. So this is a very good energy clearing grounding tool. But in addition to this specific subliminal, I would also recommend for you, group number 2, a subliminal I've created for deep anxiety relief. This may not resonate with all of you, but I feel that many of you feel these anxious feelings coming up on this winding path because you have trouble trusting your own guidance, trusting that you are still moving forward in the right direction. You're being asked to calm yourself, to ease back into your own intuition, your deep inner knowing of your path. So I would listen to the 7 chakra subliminal once per day, and then whenever you feel these feelings of anxiety or uncertainty, or these times where you need to stop and catch your breath on this path to your temple, to your spiritual evolution, your destiny, then I would recommend pausing and listening to my anxiety relief subliminal, simply to clear your mind and your energy during the day along this path. All of these subliminals, by the way, will be linked in the description box below, and you can try any of them out free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. So now let's talk about your second card that I pulled for you. The second card I pulled is the Angel of Balance. This is what I was telling you guys. You are really coming into balance. I know that I just talked about these periods of anxiety, but what I just saw was kind of, a graph that goes way up and then way down and then a little bit up, a little bit down, and slowly it starts to level out. That is what I'm seeing happening within your energy. I feel that you come from a past of having extreme highs and extreme lows, but that now you are actually starting to balance out. And this isn't coincidence. This is a result of active energy healing you've been doing on yourself. I just heard Hermit, so I feel that you've also been going into a period of isolation. During this time, you may be very isolated from other people, but this is actually serving a purpose within your twin flame connection, because during this period of solitude, you are actually balancing. And I hear that because you are balancing within, the energies of your connection are balancing as well. I feel that for some of you listening, this balance has come over like a calm. And I just heard like the eye of a hurricane in some of your perception. Some of you have been in this hurricane of change, of explosive growth, of ups and downs. But you are now settling into this calm, into this balance, and some of you feel unable to trust it because you think it's just the eye of the hurricane. You think that there is more radical ups and downs coming, but you're being told that you can actually release these fears because you've done so much of the healing work. There isn't any kind of radical change or ups and downs ahead for you anymore. You truly are leveling out, and you can trust that. And I know I've talked a lot about you individually when this really is a twin flame reading, but I feel that's because some of you have actually kind of stepped away a little bit externally from your twin flame. Either things are steadier between you, so maybe you do speak or you are friends in the 3D, but things are just very level right now. Or maybe you are in a relationship and you're coming into balance. Or maybe you actually are in separation. I'm seeing a lot of different situations. Again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, because I'm feeling a lot come through right now. But wherever you're at, I feel like it has a kind of steadiness. Even if you aren't speaking to them right now or aren't connecting with them in the 3D, the energy feels level to you. Whenever you intuitively think about it, it feels like it is balancing to you, and yet sometimes you feel afraid to trust that balance. So know that you can trust the balance. You can release these anxieties over the balance of your connection. Now I'd just like to read a little bit for this specific card because I feel that there may be more guidance here. Being centered and self-honoring in your choices. This loving presence holds a pitcher of liquid light in front of the pyramids, reminding you that a strong destiny relies on a solid foundation of personal balance and emotional equanimity. Although things may have been out of sync in the past, this card is telling you that greater equilibrium is now coming into your life. That is just like what I was telling you guys. You are now beginning to have this period of balance. And I feel as though this has just happened very recently, that things were for you in the past very turbulent. You were on this winding temple path of spiritual awakening. I saw you metaphorically on these turbulent seas with all of these waves crashing over you. But now you are in a very calm phase of your life, a steady phase of balance, and you can trust that balance. You are doing the healing work. You have done so much of the healing work, and you are doing a great job. You are being told to celebrate this balance. The third card I see is the garden and the gate. This is the third card I pulled for you. I see a woman right at the entrance of this gate about to walk through it. And I feel this is very symbolic for you, group number 2, because you've been on this temple path, this path to your spiritual destiny, because you've been coming into balance within through this period of perhaps isolation, you are now reaching this period of calm like we just talked about. And because of this, you are actually about to start some kind of a really beautiful new beginning. So I want to read a little bit about what this beginning might entail for you, just because I feel something here might resonate for you. So this card says abundant prosperity, staying safe, and I really want to emphasize that feeling of safe, because I feel that, and this is again why I recommended my anxiety relief subliminal, because I feel that many of you have deeply seated feelings of insecurity, instability from your past, from childhood wounds, maybe from caregivers who didn't allow you to feel safe, or maybe you never felt safe in childhood. And I feel as though you have done so much inner child healing work on these wounds. You've really cultivated this core of inner stability, but you're still having a little bit of lack of safety when it comes to this newfound calm. I feel like many of you, I'm about to cry because this feels really emotional, but I feel that many of you were taught that stability was not safe, that calm and peace were not safe, that you were not safe to be at peace. I just saw you with your hair down, comfortable with sweatpants, maybe by yourself, or maybe with this person. Maybe this is connecting to your twin flame. And despite rejoicing in these feelings of calm and loving being in this calm space and mentality and energetic place with this person, because of these wounds, occasionally you feel yourself feeling unsafe in stability, which sounds like a paradox, but it's what happens when we're wounded as children and lack stability in childhood, or are used to things being very turbulent. We almost don't allow ourselves to feel safe in stability, in peace, in harmony, and balance. And you're being told that you can trust this balance, this stability that you're feeling either in your life or perhaps with your twin flame within this connection. It is safe to feel this secure. And for some reason, I really felt someone needed to hear it is safe to feel this loved. Maybe loved by your twin flame, or perhaps in newfound friendships, or even just your own self-love. I'm hearing for most of you, this is a feeling of beginning to come into your own power and confidence and feel the light of your own love. You are safe to feel this loved even by yourself. So I want to read a little bit more about this card. This card shows a peaceful young woman in a beautifully blossoming garden with colorful flowers all around. I'm seeing that your life is starting to look very beautiful, but it's springtime. Things are just beginning to peek beneath the surface of the earth. You've gone through a long winter, and things are beginning to flower for you, to flourish for you in your life. But I just saw, oh my gosh, this made me almost cry. Some of you are afraid that someone's going to come and stomp on your flowers. But with this gate, I want you to know that you are protected. For some reason, I'm strongly feeling this is because I don't want to slam on anyone's parents here, but it seems like some of you, this is coming from childhood where you created beautiful things, stability, you had these dreams, and someone came and stomped your dreams out, whether it was a parent or a teacher or a negative influence in your life, a friend, I'm hearing some of you, it's an early toxic or abusive relationship where you shared all of your beautiful love, there was all this affection, and you began to let your walls down and feel safe, and this person metaphorically came and stomped on your flowers. So this is part of why you're feeling so unsafe now. But this is where the gate takes on a new meaning, because this gate is not only showing you that you are entering this period of beauty, of stability, but also you are protected. This gate is protecting you. I just saw a circle of light around you. You are truly being guarded. You are being protected in this abundance, in this security, in this love. You don't have to be so on guard anymore. You don't have to feel unsafe anymore. And I just pulled one card for you, the Angel of Love. This is another very beautiful card, and I just want to read a little bit of this for you. So, the Angel of Love says, tender connections. This beautiful angel comes with roses in her hair and rose-colored wings. She holds a rose quartz heart, radiating tender and loving vibrations, bringing you compassion and affection. Either way, remember that your first intention for tenderness must be directed inward, that the compassion that you demonstrate toward yourself will influence the energetic potential of the events around you in a significant way. Wow, what I am really feeling with this Angel of Love is that this is actually you, that you are this beautiful being of love and light. You are this angelic being, and you're holding your heart. In this picture, this is literally a rose quartz heart in the hand of this angel. You are holding this heart in your hands, your heart. You are bearing your heart on your sleeve in a tender and loving way. You are opening up in a very soft way, maybe within your life, just generally, but I feel, especially within this twin flame connection, you are finding yourself opening up. But that scares you because you're worrying every once in a while that you're being too vulnerable, that you're showing, I just heard, too much light. Some of you feel as though your light is too bright, but what you need to know is that those in darkness don't want to see your light, but it's important for you to keep shining anyway. Because this is your mission on earth here individually and with this divine counterpart is to radiate this light. And I also just heard that is enough. It is enough radiating this love, this light. I feel some of you feel a little uncertain as to what your concrete purpose is here on this earth. You're not sure. You feel so powerful, so loving, so radiant, so magnetic, but you feel as though you're not sure what the concrete outcome of all of this will be. Maybe you haven't settled on a specific career path, but you just know there's something greater for you. Maybe you've been wanting to start a business or do something different for yourself, but you're not sure how to begin. And you're being told that the starting point is this love, that this is the key, this is the portal, this is the way you step through this gate into this beautiful life, is by shedding your own love onto yourself first. I feel that many of you are the kind of person who shows this light on everyone else, who gives away your heart to everyone else. Rather than simply radiating that love in a powerful way, you've had very fluid boundaries with those around you, and you've always been left feeling unloved. You've been low on your own priority list. And I'm feeling guided to tell you that it is time to step into your own power by showing yourself the light of your own love, and that by doing that, you are then showing light and love within your twin flame connection that will magnetize them in a more fulfilling way into your life and will also shine light on all of those around you. This is the gift. The gift you are bringing to the world is your own love, your own heart. So, group 2, I hope this reading was helpful for you, provided you with some insight or clarity. Thank you so much for listening to this. And again, the subliminals I recommended for you will be in the description box of this video if you'd like to begin participating in your own inner healing through the power of frequency and sound. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next video. Hello, group 3. This is for those of you who chose the Star card. So just so you know, I am going to be pulling some energy oracle cards just to check in with the energy currently within your twin flame situation. as well as any other messages that may emerge during this reading. And in addition to that, I will be using my own intuition, my own intuitive guidance to give you some messages. And also, if you do hear me writing in the background, it's because I often like to channel messages by free writing on a piece of paper. So you may hear that in the background of this video. Okay, group 3, let's go ahead and pull some cards for you. Okay. Okay. So the first card I have for you. By the way, all of these 3 cards are reversed, which is really interesting. That's a first in these readings. That wasn't this way for group 1 and 2. The first card I pulled for you in reverse was the first chakra, Archangel Michael. I want to go ahead and read just to get some guidance on what may be going on within your situation. So this is stability stability and security. But since it's in reverse, I feel as though many of you are lacking security, lacking stability. Let's read a little bit. When this card shows up in a reversed position, you may be facing some significant challenges and even some very difficult emotions. The energy in your first chakra may be blocked, revealing potential fears about your safety, feelings of insecurity, or even depression. I saw someone in a dark cave. I feel as though many of you in group 3 have felt stuck in this cave, in this very dark energy. And at times you're not even sure why it's so dark, why you're feeling in such a dark place. But what you're being guided to understand is that this isn't your natural state, because I feel that many of you feel as though this is just the way I am, like there's something wrong with me. But the truth is that you are a beautiful, radiant being. And the reason you're not feeling that radiance in this moment isn't your fault. It's not something you're doing wrong. It's simply as a result of the path you chose in this lifetime. And specifically, the wounding you experienced in this lifetime beginning in childhood. You see, we are all naturally radiant beings, naturally positive, happy, attracting the things we desire. But we are born into a broken society, so I'm feeling guided to tell you it's not your fault, because I feel like you're beating up on yourself for being in this cave, for being stuck. I see someone just in the dark trying to push themselves forward, but they just feel disoriented because they don't even know if there's a light at the end of this tunnel. They're not even sure which direction to move in. You are being guided to heal, especially your first chakra, which is the root chakra, the seat of stability and security. I feel that many of you had to be caretakers very young. This won't apply to all of you, but I feel that many of you were never able to really be carefree in childhood, or you feel as though your childhood was stolen from you because you had to be so serious, so young. You had to give so much, so young. And in order to return to that state of freedom and stability within, you're really going to have to do some energy clearing work on yourself. Now, specifically when it comes to the root chakra, we're talking about grounding ourselves in the moment, feeling secure in our environment. I feel like many of you have anxieties. Maybe these are even manifesting as like physical anxieties. I see someone who gets afraid when they're alone at night. This is so specific, but I feel like someone gets worried about someone breaking into their house or something. Like they are very, very worried about being secure while they sleep. But I feel like metaphorically, many of you worry that by being in this cave, by being in this time of darkness and chaos, you're afraid for your own safety and security during that time, because you're afraid that you're not going to be able to support yourself. Maybe some of you have gone through some dramatic loss that has really shaken the stability that you did have. Maybe you lost a job, you lost a relationship, or maybe with your twin flame, they've totally separated from you. I sense that you're very alone in this cave, in this darkness, very much by yourself, or you perceive to be that way. So now I'm going to move into that. I want to understand a little bit about why you're in this cave and a little bit about your energy and how you can move forward. I want to provide you some comfort during this difficult time. So the next card I pulled is again in reverse, but it's Man Holding a Heart. I have a feeling this is going to tie in very directly to your twin flame connection, but I do want to read some messages for this card that you may need to hear. Male dealing with family, love, or emotions. Okay, so before I read anything, my initial thought that I'm getting is actually this won't be all of you, but I feel that there are many divine feminines who are listening to this. And my first thought when I saw this card in reverse was you were afraid that someone was going to drop your heart, meaning that there is someone you've given your heart to symbolically, or that you want to give your heart to, possibly your twin flame or divine counterpart, but you're afraid that your heart isn't safe. And this really ties back into that first card, that lack of inner stability and security. You don't feel secure, and you, especially and specifically, you don't feel secure with this person, within this connection. And I intuitively feel like you can trust this person, you can trust this connection. Maybe this is your twin flame that this reading is referencing here, but that you feel as though your perception is as though if I gave them my heart, or maybe you've already given them your heart and you feel as though they're kind of dropping the ball, that they're not taking good care of your heart. So let's read this in reversed. When this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or even a total shutdown regarding your emotional life. So I feel like these feelings of insecurity and instability are causing you to shut down, and generally in your life this is showing up as blocking people out. This may be your go-to. If you're a group 3, I feel that many of you have this as a coping mechanism. Just in general, you tend to disconnect from people when you feel alone or afraid, because you just want to handle everything yourself. I just got goosebumps because I feel many of you are very fiercely individualistic. You feel like you have to do everything yourself, and then when things are falling apart, when you're alone in this cave in darkness, you can't find your way out, you don't know how to lean on other people. And with this Man Holding a Heart in reverse, when it comes to relationships, it's hard for you to trust that someone's going to take good care of your heart, and you don't give it away very easily or very often because of this fear and insecurity. But I feel that you can't help but give your heart to this person. If this is your twin flame, it's like you want to disconnect, but you can't. You can't disconnect with them the way you do with other people. However, you are, specifically in this relationship, you're having this automatic disconnect from them, partially because of your own insecurity, but there's more to it, and I want to discover more of what's going on here, because I feel as though this isn't just about you. So I've been talking a lot about what I feel from the divine feminine, but if you're a divine masculine, I feel that I could actually be speaking about you. You could be the one where the divine feminine is trying to give you their heart, but you don't feel as if you can handle it. You can't handle the connection. And if you're a divine feminine, that may give you an insight into what the divine masculine may be feeling. But I'm going to read a little more because I want to understand this Man Holding a Heart in reverse, and what this might mean specifically for your twin flame connection, and specifically why, for those of you connecting with this idea that you don't trust this person to hold your heart, why aren't they able to hold your heart? What's going on here? So what I'm seeing is it can be time to open up and know that you can handle the deep emotions and energy being brought up. So I'm actually hearing this not so much applying to you, but to your twin flame counterpart. They are having trouble fully opening up and processing the intense energy from this connection, and you are then feeling the ripple effect of their uncertainty by feeling doubtful that they're going to be able to handle the connection. You're not sure if they're going to be able to handle their own growth, their healing, their connection. I'm hearing the word control, like maybe you're really trying to control the healing process or their healing process, or you had this kind of timeline for yourself and for this connection that has seemed to kind of fall apart recently. The man holding a heart reversed can also indicate a difficult connection with a man who may be easy to anger, deceitful, or quick to criticize. His behavior could be attributed to fear and self-doubt, yet he would never admit it. So what I feel is, if you are connecting to the messages I've said so far, for many of you, especially those of you who are divine feminine, I feel that your divine masculine is feeling overwhelmed right now. And I keep sensing that this has something to do with prior responsibilities or other life responsibilities. Maybe they're feeling too busy and chaotic right now to even be really facing the truth of this connection. And for some reason, what keeps coming up for me is family obligations, or like family. I don't know if any of you in group 3, maybe this is just one person who, your twin flame, you've given your heart to them in some way, and so it's like they're holding it, but all of a sudden you feel alone, very alone in the dark in this cave, unsure what to do because you gave them your heart, which you don't do very often, and you're feeling very insecure because you feel as though they're choosing something else over you. They're choosing family over you, or choosing, maybe they have a previous family with a third party connection. Or maybe you feel like they're choosing another woman over you. But what you're being guided to know is that this person, I see them actually holding on very tight to your heart. They actually do want to hold your heart, and they feel honored that you gave them your heart, that you opened up to them, and they desperately wish that they could open up in the same way. And I feel that in fact they will, but that it's going to take time because they, whatever other obligations they have, are preventing them from fully expressing how much your heart means to them. And they want to provide you with that sense of stability that you desire and that you so desperately seek, but they can't right now for some reason, or they feel as though they can't. And so for you listening to this, I am already feeling like, in terms of what subliminal healing listening session I would recommend for my website, first of all, I recommend to all groups for this my 7 chakra clearing subliminal, whichever one you feel more guided to. I have one for twin flames and one that's just a general clearing session for non-twin flames and twin flames. It's more individually based and not centered around the connection specifically. But I recommend listening to that once in the morning, especially right when you wake up. And this is I just feel goosebumps. I feel this guidance especially for you. You must do this right when you wake up. And the reason is because I'm being told that you're actually in the light while you sleep. You may have very vivid dreams or very happy dreams, or feel very relaxed while you're sleeping. And then right when you wake up, you have to understand that you have this very small window of time before you start feeling in this dark cave again, before this chaos takes over. That is because your subconscious mind has a lot of negative programming. And once you're relaxed, once you're releasing everything from your mind overnight, you're really clearing all of that subconscious negativity. But then when you wake up, it's like you allow all of those thoughts to come rushing into your mind again, and it puts you back in this dark space. So if you can carve out literally just 15 or 20 minutes where you sit, close your eyes, focus on your breathing, and just clear your head. I wouldn't recommend for you right now doing any kind of specific visualization practice while you listen to this, but simply just allowing yourself to immerse in the sounds and frequencies and just clear your mind of all of this darkness and fear and all of these thoughts. Just let yourself release it. Let the energy begin to shift within you. So if you are interested in that 7 chakra clearing subliminal, that will be in the description box. But for you specifically, I would also recommend a subliminal I've created for confidence. And this might sound a little strange, but when we're lacking security or instability in the first chakra, the root chakra, a lot of that is coming from a lack of confidence. We don't have a stable inner core within ourselves So in addition to this 7 chakra subliminal, I'm also going to leave a link to my confidence subliminal because I feel this could also be very beneficial for you. So just so you know, when you create a free trial account on my website, you can access these subliminals I've recommended, as well as trying out any of the subliminals I've created completely free for 7 days to just see how the energy of your situation and your life begins to shift. So then finally, this third card I pulled for you, it's the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. Now, the 6th chakra is actually the third eye chakra. So I want to read a little bit about this just to hopefully provide a little bit of clarity for you on this. Clarity of thought, personal vision. This very powerful Archangel Metatron brings brilliant indigo vibrations into your brow chakra or third eye, which is the center devoted to insight and clear thought. Now let's see what it means reversed. This card reversed admonishes you to get clear. You may have been lost in confusion and had unclear or distorted thinking. That so perfectly fits with everything we've talked about being in this cave, being in chaos. I feel that many of you feel this very strong lack of clarity, like you need some clarity or direction in your life. And again, like I said earlier, you just feel so lost in this dark cave. And the first thing you need to know is that this cave isn't an endless tunnel further and further into the ground. There is a light at the end of this tunnel, and you will be able to feel your way in the dark. Even if this state of mental chaos has been going on for quite some time, your lack of personal direction can be turned around, just like I said. Take off the blinders and widen your perspective. Visualize the life you want to live and the person you want to be, and make that your intention. I feel as though for you, the key to deepening your twin flame connection, and this may sound strange, but I feel as though you're actually being guided to withdraw your energy just a little bit from this situation right now. Because as far as your connection, you feel as though you're stuck in this cave. You have this very trapped feeling. Your twin flame seems either emotionally unavailable, or there's a disconnect, or there may be a third party. You're just not connecting in some way and you don't fully trust them. But you have to understand the reason you don't fully trust them is again because you lack this confidence. That inner stability has to come from within, from a stable inner core. And once you have that stable inner core, you will magnetize your twin flame into your life. This is kind of a hard message to fully explain, but I got this feeling as though your twin flame is being repelled away from you a little bit emotionally right now because you are lacking this inner stable core, and they sense that. And actually, on a higher level, a soul level, they're giving you this space in this cave to be able to turn within, to cultivate that inner core of stability within, and to come into your own. So I'm actually hearing that you're really being guided right now to clear your own energy first of all. I would almost recommend for you listening to this group 3, maybe start with my general 7 chakra clearing subliminal rather than the one specifically designed for twin flames just at this time. Until you feel deep inner security and stability, just focus on your own individual clearing, because in doing that, you will balance your twin flame connection. Your twin will feel that clearing and that healing. And I get the sense they're almost waiting for you to do that work within, to stabilize yourself within. And then once you have inner stability, your relationship with them will stabilize externally. So with this 6th chakra, because in these cards we have the 1st chakra and the 6th chakra both in reverse, telling us these are your most blocked chakras right now. This is the 1st chakra, which is the root chakra, your stability and security. But also the 6th chakra, your third eye, your sense of clarity and intuition. I feel as though because you're in this chaos and this darkness, you've gotten very out of touch with yourself, and maybe to an extent you've been using this twin flame connection as an escape, as a mental escape, because you can't escape this cave. So you've been using this person, almost turning it into this fantasy, giving you something to hold on to. I almost got this word like maladaptive daydreaming, which they talk about as a trauma response when things in your life are really, really difficult and you are no longer grounded in your body. And maybe you did this as a child where you begin to daydream about this fantasy life. Sorry, I kind of had to clear my throat there. There's just like so many messages coming through for you. So when you maladaptive daydream, it means like things in your life are so chaotic that you kind of latch on to this fantasy. And while I always tell people, always tune into your own vision, create a vision, imagine that vision. But the difference between visualizing and maladaptive daydreaming is visualizing is an intentional practice, a space in which you intentionally choose to direct the energy of your thoughts and focus to create a daydream, to create a vision for yourself, and therefore manifest that vision. Whereas maladaptive daydreaming comes from a negative trigger. You were triggered by something negative or many negative things in your life, and so you try to repress and shove down all of that negativity and then gloss it over by latching on to this kind of fantasy world. And I feel that not all of you, but some of you are doing this with your twin flame connection. Your life has been so difficult and chaotic that you're kind of latching on to this person. And the thing is, that's actually repelling them away from you because they're sensing that and they're feeling repelled from that kind of energy. It's like that kind of chaser energy a little bit. So you're really being called to withdraw your energy from this person, from this connection, in the sense that you create a clear, compelling vision for yourself and your life, and then begin setting aside time every day where you envision that vision, and don't focus so much right now on incorporating your twin flame into that vision. Because just know, when you are stepping into your power and your purpose and your potential, they will naturally be magnetized into that future. You don't have to force them into it. You don't have to forcibly visualize them there with you. They simply will be there with you. This connection is very magnetic, especially when both people are in their true power, purpose, and potential. So I get the feeling that right now the best thing you can do is focus on you, on getting clear rather on your own intentions for your life personally, your own self-growth, and that by doing this you will magnetize in your twin flame. I feel that there is like one more message in here for you. Here we go. It's time to break out of the old toxic thought patterns, whether they be habits of worry, doubt, or self-criticism. It's also time to develop a clearer, healthier vision of how you perceive yourself and what you want your daily life to look like. Know that you are in charge of making it so. Affirm that you are creating a new clarity and sense of direction. You have all the power you need to create a strong personal vision that will guide you on your path. Make that a priority now. So this really just reaffirms what I was saying. It's time to make your personal vision and self-growth a priority, to really get clear on what you want your future to look like. And once you get clear on that vision and begin imagining it, and I'm hearing imagining it in the dark, don't be afraid to imagine something beautiful and brilliant and magnificent for yourself, even when you're walking in the dark. Know that as you imagine that future, it's manifesting before you. And eventually you will see a glimmer of hope, showing you the way to this vision, but only if you can hold the faith in the beginning where things still look very dark. So group number 3, thank you for joining me here in this reading. I hope it was helpful for you. The subliminals I recommended for you will be linked in the description box. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast. Hello group 4. This is for those of you who chose the 4th card, the Lover's card. And just so you know, I am pulling cards from my Energy Oracle Cards deck, as well as using my own intuition to channel messages, just reading into the current energy of your situation, specifically with your twin flame. But in the last 3 groups, I found that a lot of general life messages are coming through as well, which makes sense because, of course, this twin flame connection is deeply and inextricably intertwined with our life journey, with our spiritual awakening path. And when we make those changes in our life, we also make those shifts and profound changes within our connection. We come into balance as twin flame counterparts as well. So I'm just about to pull a few cards for you. Okay. Alright, I have a really beautiful spread for you guys here. So the first card I pulled for you is the Angel of Love. I'm not really getting much guidance yet on what this might mean for you, but I just wanted to describe this card to you. This is a beautiful looking angel with roses in her hair, holding this beautiful rose quartz heart in her hands and looking down at it. Now, I just got my first message for you with these roses in her hair. I feel as though you are someone who has taken pain and transformed it into beauty. The rose is really such a symbol of both pain and beauty. It has thorns and also vibrant, beautiful petals. And I feel as though for a very long time life was giving you the thorns. And every time you would go to try to pluck these flowers, you'd grab them by the thorns and try to pull them up, and you would cut your hand in the process. And in fact, I feel as though maybe this is actually how you got these thorns out of your garden in the first place. Is you had all of these roses with these thorns growing, and you uprooted them, you pulled them out, and it hurt. It caused your hands to bleed. It caused you immense pain. But once you uprooted them, you adorned yourself with them. You took this pain, this painful transformation, and just like this angel is wearing these roses in her hair, you took these painful experiences and you wore them as badges of honor. You are someone who is a very old soul, who has come through a lot of pain, and what you need to realize is this pain isn't just from this lifetime. Part of your purpose here in this life is to heal generations of trauma. You are literally healing the very DNA of your cells. You are transforming. You are a generational curse breaker. I see a kind of newness with this card. Maybe you are going to be the first in your generation to do something, to experience true unconditional love, to have a spiritual awakening. And so maybe because of this, you're the weird one in your family. For some strange reason, looking at this angel with her wings, I feel as though others made fun of you for your wings, for a gift that you had that actually is not only what made you different, but what made you special and would allow you to fly, to soar. But you were taught to hide your wings, to try to dumb down yourself, is what I'm hearing, or to make yourself seem less beautiful or less brilliant. But now, just as you learned to transform this pain into beauty through plucking these roses and wearing them in your hair, you're also learning to use your gifts that you repressed and tried to hide, that others made fun of. These wings, you're learning to use them as your greatest asset to soar to the heights of your highest potential, and you are truly beginning to radiate your own love. I'm hearing a lot of self-love here. I feel this light radiating out from this angel is actually coming from a radiance within, from a deep inner self-love that you've had to cultivate, and I feel as though that hasn't been an easy journey. I don't think you listening to this were someone who was naturally very self-loving. I think that from a young age you were taught to reject many aspects of yourself. Like I said, either they were made fun of or not accepted. Maybe you were the weird one. I'm getting the sense you were kind of the odd one out in school and kind of learned to adapt by hiding yourself, hiding your wings, hiding your gift, hiding your pain. But now you've learned to truly step into your power, to feel the light of your own love, to transform yourself in magnificent ways. And you have to know that you are magnificent, that you are beautiful, that you are radiating this love. And Spirit is so proud of you. I feel even ancestors. You have some kind of an ancestor surrounding you who is very, very proud of you. For some reason, I was getting a very strong maternal vibe, not a mother, but maybe a grandmother or a great-grandmother, someone who is smiling and really cheering you on, feels very, very proud of you. This is so random, but if one of you had a grandma or a great-grandma who had like a candy drawer or would give you pieces of like hard candy, like the old-fashioned kind of candies or something, I feel that maybe just one person listening to this, that grandmother that passed on, that used to do that for you as a child, they are They are looking down on you and they are so proud of you for the ways that you've transformed this pain into beauty. Again, that really could just be for one person. These are very general readings, so I'll try to be as detailed as possible, but I'm really just going to be throwing out any messages that come through. So the second card I pulled for you is the woman holding a heart. So I am not getting a clear read on this yet, so I'm going to read a little bit about this card. Female dealing with family, love, or emotions. The woman on this card wears a butterfly in her hair and holds a lovely large heart in her hands. Are you someone who either takes pride in their hair or gets compliments on their hair? Who has either hair that is dyed a bright color or is very long, maybe natural color but long? I'm seeing different things here, but someone who either their hair is a great adornment for them. I don't know why I'm seeing that. It might not be for everyone, but this theme of this hair and adornment in hair seems to come up over and over again. So with this, I am seeing that part of the pain you've had to transform into beauty has actually come from your family. I know that I spoke earlier on breaking generational curses, but I'm feeling that part of these so-called generational curses were directly related to unconditional love. I feel that many of you listening were taught a very conditional form of love. For some reason, I'm really hearing strings attached. I feel like all of the love you experienced in childhood came with strings attached to it. And actually, I'm learning, I feel from these two cards put together, someone used to have your heart. I feel that maybe this was actually in a platonic familial stance within your family, where someone within your family, you gave your heart away to them over and over. You didn't have good boundaries with them. You let them dictate your life and your future. For some reason, I'm very strongly feeling that for many of you, this was a mother. You really let your mother control your life, control your decisions. Maybe you were very close and you had a lot of love for her at some point, but maybe she was very controlling and manipulative, and you always felt as though you couldn't keep her happy, or there were always these strings attached in your relationship. And again, this won't be for all of you. This could also be someone who had someone holding their heart, even in a previous romantic relationship, and you had to take your heart back. And hearing that someone had to fight for their heart, for their space, for their dream, for their independence. You've had to fight, and that's shown. You do it so beautifully that you're so graceful about this fight that other people don't always realize how much you're fighting. You're like the epitome of not knowing what kinds of inner demons someone is dealing with, because you put on a very convincing front. You are beautiful, you're magnetic, you've probably had a lot of successes in life. People generally probably like you, you're very likable, despite being maybe the odd one out when you were younger. But in spite of all of that, you've had this deep struggle within you that few people, if perhaps even no one, knew about. And you are learning to take back your heart, to take back your power. I know a lot of these messages have been very individual and family rather than twin flame, but I feel that this actually connects because you are healing your divine feminine. That came through very strong. I feel that your mother, the reason that she took your heart in this way, that she loved you with strings attached, it may have not been because she had ill intentions, but because she never healed her own divine feminine. She was an embodiment of the divine feminine, was very creative and intuitive, but she was taught to be overly masculine, controlling, and aggressive, and within her relationships that really played out. That wounded feminine caused her to try to control people and circumstances, including you. And I feel that you're being asked to forgive, to release, not necessarily to interact with her. You don't have to have a relationship with whoever this person is. Forgive in the sense that you let go from your heart, to release the resentment from your heart, not for her, but for you. And I feel that this is really important to your soul growth and evolution. I saw the last rose being pulled from the garden. You have all of these beautiful roses adorning your hair. But there's still one thing left in your heart, one resentment left that you're holding on to. And this all does play into your twin flame connection because I feel that you're still holding on to this one last wound. Maybe this is some kind of inner child wound, a feeling of lack of love, a feeling that love can only be given to you unconditionally. There is one last rose that must be plucked from your so-called garden and adorned in your hair, must be transmuted from pain into beauty. And I feel you're getting a little tired of this healing process, this transmutation process, because I feel you've been on this journey a very long time. And like I said, I feel that this last piece to your healing puzzle really has to do with releasing resentment from your own heart, related to someone who has taken your heart and who has wounded you, maybe without realizing they were doing so. And you must release them in your own heart to your highest good in order to transcend, in order to reach the next level, so to speak. Now, the third card I pulled for you is the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. So the third chakra is the solar plexus chakra, and believe it or not, even though I've only pulled 3 cards for every group, this is actually the second time that this exact card has come up, which is kind of surprising. But I feel that a lot of us collectively are really being called to heal the third chakra. This is in the stomach area, for those of you who aren't familiar. It's the solar plexus. And personally, I have been called to do a lot of self-healing on my own solar plexus chakra recently. And I don't know if any of you will connect with this, but I feel that you will. I have recently had a lot of strange sensations, even sometimes discomfort, within my solar plexus in my stomach area, as though the energy is moving. Just feeling kind of a weird sensation. And to be honest with you guys, at times this has emerged as a feeling of overeating even when I'm not hungry. It's as though it kind of, I feel that my weakness with this solar plexus issue is then overcompensating, trying to numb this solar plexus sensation with food. So I've just felt guided to tell you that because I feel that some of you are doing the same thing, that you feel all of this movement within you, all of this solar plexus change and shifting, and at times you try to numb it. Maybe it's not food for you, but through some kind of addiction, through some kind of excessive thing, you're indulging excessively in something to try to numb, and it's because, again, of this last resentment you're holding in your heart that you've had trouble letting go of, that last piece to your healing. And I feel that, I know this is supposed to be a twin flame reading, but I feel that there are so many individual messages coming through, and this all plays into deepening your twin flame connection. This is your portal to twin flame healing, because I do feel that your twin flame is actually experiencing some of the same things. So actually, I didn't do this for the first 3 groups, but I am going to pull some cards for your twin flame because I feel guided to make your reading group 4 more individualized and then bring together your energies. I don't know why I'm feeling guided to do this. I don't know if you're in separation right now with your twin flame in the physical, or if you're just on really different or seemingly different paths right now. But what I do want to say, the last thing I want to say about the third chakra is, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm recommending subliminals I've created to assist you in healing, shifting, and balancing your energy, specifically based on these readings. So, specifically for you, I'm feeling as though you are so radiant, so magnetic, and you are truly taking back your power. You're holding your heart, but I feel a little bit of an inward turn, as if the next step for you is healing this last resentment, releasing it, and then actually confidently moving into action. I feel that a lot of this has been happening internally, and that you're ready to move into action, but from the solar plexus card, I feel as though maybe you're still learning to develop your confidence in yourself, which again makes sense, because if you were raised to believe in a lack of unconditional love, or you were always giving your heart away, giving your power away, then it's only natural that you would have some weaknesses or blockages in the third chakra, the seat of confidence, of forward action. So I would really recommend one of my 7 chakra clearing subliminals for you, because the chakras have to be addressed very comprehensively. So although you are experiencing a third chakra blockage, the best approach to healing this blockage is also to address all 7 simultaneously, because when one is underactive or repressed, let's say your solar plexus, your third chakra, it affects all of the other chakras and throws them out of balance as well. So specifically for you, I'm hearing that you can intuitively choose between my general 7 chakra clearing subliminal. This is individualized and for both twin flames and non-twin flames. Or alternatively, you could use my 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal. Either one will yield positive benefits for you. I think it's just about whether for you right now, you intuitively feel that it's more important to focus on completely on your own individual healing and growth, or whether you feel more focused right now on balancing this connection, this divine masculine balance in your twin flame connection. So links to both of those will be in the description box. And I'm also going to throw in a subliminal specifically for confidence, because this is designed to reinforce that third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the seat of confidence. So listening to this whenever you feel guided to do so, in addition to the 7 chakra clearing, will help to really boost your confidence and provide kind of a force field of confidence around you moving forward. So again, whenever you sign up for a free trial on my website, you can access all of the subliminals I just recommended, as well as you will be able to try out any subliminal I've created on my site. Now, the last thing I'm going to do for you, as I promised, is actually pull some cards for your twin flame, because this was supposed to be a twin flame reading, but all I feel like I really got was like an individual reading. So I don't know why that is. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if you've been really focusing on yourself lately, or feeling really individualistic, or are in some kind of separation from your twin flame. I was just feeling a very individual energy. But I'm going to pull 3 cards to kind of give us a read into what's going on with your twin flame right now. Okay, the first card I got was a contract in reverse. This is interesting. Okay, so let me read about this card just a little bit. Partnership, legal commitment. Oh, I'm already feeling like the reason I was feeling such strong individual energy from you is because for some of you, again, this won't be all of you, but I feel that for some of you, your twin flame is in a prior commitment. From legal commitment, I'm hearing possibly even a marriage, or maybe they're trying to get out of a marriage, or they're unhappily married, or if they're not married, they're seriously connecting with a third party. And because of this, it's forced you to go within, to really do your own self-healing and growth along this path and be very individualistic, which is why during your reading, I was reading so much individual energy. But let's read a little bit about this in reverse. The contract card reversed indicates the ending of a previous connection, or where a future commitment is concerned. It could bring warnings of delay and perhaps even possible disappointment. Now, I'm feeling that what really resonates with you, Group 4, is that your twin flame is connecting with some kind of third-party energy. Again, I'm strongly feeling this could be a legally binding commitment, such as a marriage. But if not that, it's something else that's binding them, that's holding them back. This could be a very restricting job, a career that they hate, that they feel really stuck in, something they feel that they have to take care of before they can connect with you more in the physical, or can really come into your life. But with this card in reverse, I actually feel like this commitment is coming to an end. I'm not getting the feeling that it's already over, but I feel as though energetically it's over. It's not over in the 3D, but energetically they're done. Energetically it's over. And now they're just working through the fallout of aligning the physical ending with this energetic ending that has already happened. So maybe this is an unhappy relationship, or an unhappy marriage, or again, an unhappy career, some binding commitment that they're trying to escape from because they feel as though it's already ended, but it's still lagging behind and going on in the physical world. And you may also be feeling this as frustration because you don't understand why they can't just leave this thing, this job, or this person, this commitment. You can't understand why they're doing this. So I want to read into why they aren't fully connecting with you or fully leaving this thing if it's already energetically over. And the next card I pulled for you, or specifically for your twin flame counterpart, is the Thinking Man. So I want to read a little bit into this card. Male of wisdom or understanding, and this card was in the upright position. This card shows a man standing before an archway, gazing at a crystal in his hand. He is a thoughtful and reflective man, representing the potential presence of a teacher in your life right now or about to arrive soon. Now, I don't resonate as much with the teacher aspect of that message. What I feel from this card very strongly is that this connects with this contract or legal commitment, meaning that your twin flame, your counterpart, is very much in their head about fully ending this contract. And I see someone debating. They are really going back and forth. They know energetically that this is over, but somehow they're a little bit disconnected. I feel that your twin flame is very, very logical and very calculated. They probably like numbers. Maybe they like math or science. I'm also getting very earth energy, earth sign energy. And this is not working to their advantage in this contract because they tend to hold on to things too long. And of course, this is frustrating you, which ironically, and this is the second time these two cards have come up, so this must be a collective energy. But the next card I pulled for you is actually the Thinking Woman. So I'm actually seeing this as a progression, that because your twin flame is in this other prior commitment or relationship or connection, they are in their own head trying to end it, but you are over here reacting to the situation and also being in your own head. So this is causing the energy to get a little thrown out of balance in your connection, because despite all of this individual healing work you've done, stepping into your power, all of that we just spoke of, you are, in regards to your twin flame, a little bit in your head because you are reacting to them. You are very intuitive, so you can sense energetically that this commitment is over for them. This contract, this marriage, this relationship, you know what they're feeling. You know that it's over. And they, although they are less in tune with their intuition, on some level, they realize it too, which is why it's causing them a lot of doubt, uncertainty. They're feeling shaky. They're trying to end it, but they're still afraid. And in this picture of the Thinking Woman, I see someone who is very strong and intellectual and intuitive. And I feel that you are aware, you see through this illusion of their situation, and it's almost a little frustrating to you because you want to immediately align. You are a very powerful manifester. You're used to things you imagine and dream very quickly showing up into being. And with your twin flame, you are just so ready for them to be out of this commitment and to be connecting fully with you in the physical. But again, going back to your reading, before this can happen, I do feel that your paths are very intertwined in the sense that you still do have a little bit of healing work left to do on yourself. And I feel that this is something maybe you've glossed over because you have been healing a long time and it's starting to get tiring. But I invite you to look once more at any resentments, any feelings of childhood wounding that you have coming from your past, coming from your childhood, because although you are this very radiant, magnetic, beautiful, powerful being, there is something that you're still holding on to. And I feel as though right now, this energy of this situation with your twin flame and this third party, it is shifting. And intuitively, you already know that. You know that whatever they're connecting to that's keeping you apart, that this is ending. But I'm feeling guided to tell you to have a little bit of patience with this situation. Not the kind of patience that's inactive, that doubts, that doesn't think it's going to happen, but the kind of patience that knows that you are going to come together with this person, with your twin flame, but this commitment they're in is going to end, and that you can simply exist in your divine feminine energy if you are the feminine. And you don't need to force this connection into being. Okay. I'm going to pull just a few more cards for you because I want to give you a little bit of advice now that I've given a lot of clarity. I want to provide a little more advice on what to do with this situation. Okay. Okay, so The first card I got in advice on this situation is the garden and the gate. So this is a woman who is walking through this gate, and actually I really connect this with that angel of love card I pulled first for you with the angel with the roses in her hair, because this is actually a garden with roses in it that you're about to enter. So I feel as though this is telling you with this gate to guard your heart, to strengthen your boundaries. And this really goes back to that strengthening of your solar plexus chakra. And specifically, I'm feeling this in terms of your family. Someone, either in your family or a past ex or toxic relationship, someone has taken your heart and you're being guided. I feel that you're already guarding your heart. You're aware of this person, but you're being really guided to hold that gate, to keep that gate closed, especially because at this time, I feel as though you're being tempted to open back that gate of your heart toward these people who have taken it, who have trampled on your garden, trampled on your heart, because your twin flame is taking so long to end this third party commitment or whatever commitment they're in. And so you're getting a little impatient and thinking that maybe you'll settle, maybe you'll open your heart, this gate of your heart, to an ex. I'm specifically hearing an ex. I feel like some of you are kind of longingly looking back or coming close to opening yourself to some ex-lover or relationship that you'd already moved past for a reason, and you're being asked to remember why you left this person in your past and to really not be afraid to be alone within your garden. And the second card I got for you is actually hostilities. So I want to read a little bit about this because I feel this is important for you, but I'm not really sure of the meaning. Defenses up, aggressive energy. This is what I'm telling you. You have to guard your heart right now. And with this defenses up, I feel as though some of these hostilities may come from a direction you aren't expecting. And I'm not trying to scare you or anything, but I feel as though maybe something isn't as it appears to be. Someone isn't as kind to you as they appear to be. Maybe this is some new lover besides your twin flame that you've been talking to or connecting with. Or maybe this is an ex, or platonically, this could even be your family again, coming back into your life when you've had this kind of toxic upbringing, if that speaks to you. And I feel as though you're being really asked to hold your ground, to hold your defenses, and not to open yourself to any of these people at this time, but to be patient. And finally, the next card I'm getting, the last card, is community. Connection with kindred spirits. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing that this is such a strange message, but in order to find your people, you can't be afraid to be alone. That you have to protect your heart against these potentially hostile influences. Many of them I feel are past influences, exes, past people you used to be close with, maybe toxic friendships. And you're being asked to hold your guard and to trust that this new community is coming in. But ironically, you can only attract your soul tribe, this new community of kindred spirits, when you release these old toxic connections. So group 4, that is my reading for you. I hope that this was helpful for you and provided you with some sense of clarity along your path, both individually and as a twin flame. All of the subliminals I recommended for you will be linked in the description box under this video. And again, you can try out any of them completely free for 7 days when you create a free trial account on my website. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.